Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Right now, literally as we speak, an absolute biological marvel is working non-stop inside of you to keep you alive. We rarely give it a second thought, but every single minute of every day, this incredibly sophisticated internal network is tirelessly managing your body's chemistry. Today, we're exploring your body's ultimate built-in filtration network, the human excretory system. I mean, really think about it for a second. How exactly does your body purify its own blood? As we go about our normal day, eating, drinking, working out, or even just sitting here existing, our internal metabolic systems are constantly generating cellular waste. It's just an unavoidable byproduct of life. If those toxins were allowed to just sit there and accumulate, our cells would quickly become poisoned. We need a highly efficient, non-stop way to scrub our lifeblood clean, keeping the vital nutrients we need and ditching the toxic byproducts we don't. Okay, let's dive into this.
All right, Section 1, the body's excretory system.
So, the excretory system is this incredible biological network, starting squarely with the kidneys, that's designed entirely to purify your blood and pull out harmful waste. It's a completely elegant, non-stop solution, ensuring toxins never even get the chance to build up in your bloodstream. And to truly appreciate this, you kind of have to wrap your head around the sheer volume of work this system handles. We aren't just talking about some minor background cleanup crew here. This whole system is absolutely crucial for regulating your blood pressure, balancing your electrolytes, and maintaining the exact chemical equilibrium you need to survive.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that it all begins with these two vital bean-shaped organs, your kidneys. They basically act as the central processing plants for your internal plumbing. Deep inside these organs, you've got these structures known as renal pyramids, which structurally funnel all that filtered fluid inward. And to give you an idea of their raw processing power, consider this. These two tiny organs are filtering about 150 quarts of blood every single day. That means your entire blood supply loops through these organic filters dozens of times a day, undergoing just relentless scrutiny and purification.
Moving right along to Section 2, blood enters the kidneys. Obviously, before any purification can actually happen, that unpurified blood has to physically get to the kidneys, right? It is a brilliant feat of internal routing. The renal arteries act like these massive inbound highways, pumping oxygenated but unfiltered blood directly into the kidneys at high pressure. Then, once the blood is scrubbed clean, the renal veins grab that freshly purified vital fluid and carry it right back into general circulation. And this brilliantly illustrates the duality of our internal anatomy. You have this massive influx of blood zooming in and out for processing, while entirely separate tubes, the ureters, are dedicated exclusively to carrying the newly extracted liquid waste away. So the clean blood goes one way and the toxins safely go another. Which brings us to Section 3, nephrons, the microfilters.
If we zoom way down to the cellular level of the kidney, we find millions of these microscopic filtration units called nephrons, sometimes known as urinary tubules. I literally cannot overstate this. Nephrons are the absolute workhorses of this entire operation. Each kidney contains roughly 1 million of these tiny structures. They are doing the heavy lifting of chemical separation. Every single nephron operates like its own independent microscopic water treatment plant. They use a complex web of capillaries to push blood through incredibly fine biological meshes that snatch up the waste while keeping your blood cells and large proteins safely intact.
So the crucial point is how these nephrons actually do their job. Deep inside the kidneys, they're actively pulling harmful stuff, urea, excess salts, and environmental toxins right out of your circulating blood. But it's not just a simple sieve. It's actually a highly selective, continuous cycle of filtration and reabsorption. Basically, the nephrons initially pull out a massive amount of fluid, but then, and this is the genius part, they meticulously reabsorb almost all the water and essential minerals your body still needs. They're isolating only the true waste, concentrating it all down into the yellow liquid we all know as urine. It's just an astonishing feat of biological recycling.
Let's zoom back out for Section 4, the journey outward.
Let's move to and see how this builds a really clear chronological map. Now that the waste is safely extracted and concentrated, it follows a very strict biological pipeline to get out of the body. From those microscopic nephrons inside the kidneys, the fluid is channeled straight down through the ureters. From there, it drops into the urinary bladder, and finally it hits the urethra for expulsion. This whole sequence is a perfectly designed gravity-assisted drainage system, making absolutely sure that toxic byproducts are continuously moved away from your vital organs with zero backflow. So, those two ureter tubes, one coming down from each kidney, open directly into the urinary bladder. And the bladder is essentially your body's highly elastic holding tank. It's a hollow, muscular organ that serves as a secure reservoir, expanding to safely hold on to that liquid waste. To put its capability into perspective,
A typical healthy human bladder can comfortably hold anywhere from 400 to 600 milliliters of urine. That's what allows us to go hours without needing to constantly run to the bathroom, safely storing everything until sensory nerves finally tap your brain on the shoulder to say, hey, the tank is reaching its functional capacity.
And then the final step of this physical journey happens when the bladder opens into the urethra. During micturition, which, by the way, is just the fancy biological term for urination, the reservoir has officially done its job of temporary storage. Your brain signals the muscular walls of the bladder to contract, and those internal sphincter muscles finally relax. The urine is then released from the body through this final pathway, the urethra. And with that, the entire waste removal cycle is complete, while simultaneously, your freshly purified blood just keeps on circulating, nourishing every single cell in your body.
So as we wrap up today's explainer, I really have to ask, are you marveling at the millions of microscopic filters working inside you right now? Even as you just sit here watching this, your powerful kidneys, those intricately designed ureters, and millions of tiny nephrons are autonomously working in perfect, silent harmony to keep you thriving. It is a literal engineering masterpiece running in the background of our lives. I really hope this journey leaves you with a profound sense of wonder about your own brilliant biology. Keep learning, keep marveling, and I will see you in the next explainer.